Tyler Reddick is joining 2311 Racing. Not this year, not next year, but the year after. And it's official. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove. How we all feeling out there today? We doing good? Everyone okay? It feels like the entire NASCAR industry is melting down. A huge bombshell dropped earlier today. We're gonna get to that in just a moment. But first, I do have a couple big announcements I've been looking forward to making. Of course, it would fall on this day of all days. But I'm excited to announce that I have a new podcast, Zoom Lens, a show where my friend Josh Mull and I review racing movies. We're both lifelong racing fans. We both love watching movies. So we thought this would be a fun idea. The first few episodes are up and available anywhere you get your podcasts. We recently reviewed Logan Lucky. Later this week, we have an episode coming on Stroker Ace. So I encourage you to go check that out. Here's a little preview, a little peek at what a Zoom Lens is all about. I felt like this movie was a student film. They don't have the confidence in their own unique filmmaking style to do something different, so they just end up doing everything they think Americans and Hollywood expect from a racing movie set in the South.
This over there is called the safety barrier, and don't run into that, and it's like, you're telling him now?
This one had the scale, it had the names, it had the cameos. The cameos are really the reason to watch this if you're a racing fan.
This movie had no shot. Not a chance in hell was this movie going to be a success.
It's not a NASCAR movie. This movie could have taken place at any other major venue or sporting event. This could have taken place at an SEC football game. I don't know, the local bowling alley. I hope you check out Zoom Lens. Link is down in the description below. If you love movies, if you love racing, I think you'll have found the right place. Also, second announcement real quick, but I'm excited to announce that I will be hosting the Monday Night Racing Season 5 playoffs beginning next week, July 18th. I've teamed up with Podium Esports and the Monday Night Racing crew to host the pre-race show and to also broadcast all 7 of their playoff races. Their regular season wrapped up last night. It's a really cool series. You've probably seen it or at least heard of it. Big names often race in that series. Real-world drivers like Anthony Alfredo, Ryan Vargas made the playoffs, alongside other NASCAR industry members and great sim racers alike. So I'm excited to be hosting that beginning again next Monday, July 18th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You can watch every Monday night right here on this channel live. Okay, thanks for bearing with me. I've been holding on to those announcements for days. It just happened to land on today, one of the craziest news days of the 2022 season. So let's dive right in. Toyota hosted a press conference earlier today that was billed as kind of like a 2022 mid-season report. And then, in the middle of this press conference, Tyler Reddick was introduced as a new member of 2311 Racing. We're used to big silly season bombshells here on Out of the Groove, but not this early. This deal is for 2024. Not this year. Obviously, he's going to finish out the year with Richard Childress Racing in the 8 car. It's not even for next year. The team had an option on Reddick's contract, and of course, they exercised it. This is for 2024. It is rare, borderline unprecedented to hear a driver announcement this early. But Denny Hamlin got his guy. He said during this press conference, quote, "I watched him, I raced against him, I wanted him, and I got him." For his part, Tyler Reddick said, "I'm really excited about this opportunity that is coming ahead in 2024. The team is very young, but it's been going in a very positive direction from day one." 2311 Racing Team President Steve Lauletta did not say for sure whether or not Reddick would be in a 3rd car for 2311 or if he could potentially replace one of their 2 existing drivers. He did confirm that their 2023 lineup is set. Kurt Busch and Bubba Wallace will be the 2 drivers for the team next year, but 2024 is still TBD. You gotta believe Reddick as a replacement for Kurt Busch is a likely possibility. They could theoretically expand to a 3rd car, but they would need a 3rd charter, and this would all be happening before the new TV contract is signed. And remember, a couple months ago, Denny Hamlin said this to Sports Business Journal. "I will go on record saying that I had a meeting with Jim France, and my message was clear that we need to stop talking about cutting. Cutting does not equal growth. If we start working collectively, then we can grow this sport together. But the business model will have to change for that to happen. We at 2311 have big plans, but those plans are on hold until we see change." Again, that was a couple months ago. Hamlin saying that any future investment into the team was on pause until the business model changes, and most in the industry don't expect a major change until probably 2025. So that leads me to believe Reddick is there to replace Kurt Busch, who, there have been retirement rumors swirling around Kurt Busch since like last year. So obviously he raced last year, he's raced this year, sounds like he'll race next year, but is he gonna race in 2024? It sounds somewhat doubtful at this point. This is huge news. This is huge for 23XI because Tyler Reddick is one of the top younger drivers in the sport who we knew was about to hit free agency. I know he only just now got his first career Cup Series win, but he's been knocking on that door for a couple of years now. He's a two-time Xfinity Series champion. He won championships for two different organizations in back-to-back years. He has a ton of raw talent, probably the most raw talent we've seen in an up-and-coming young driver since maybe Kyle Larson. I'm not saying Reddick is on Larson's level. I'm saying he's the best since Larson. We knew he was under contract with RCR for next year because the team had an option on him, but I think we all knew it was going to be difficult for RCR to hold on to Reddick past 2024. Those cars aren't bad. RCR is a B+ level organization, but there are plenty of A+ teams out there that would have been knocking on Tyler Reddick's doorstep. So not surprising to hear that he's leaving RCR after next season. I just didn't expect it to be announced so soon. And I'm a little surprised it's 23XI. Not shocked, but a little surprised. Anyway, this is obviously a great move for 23XI. They get a great driver. As Hamlin said, he got his guy. What does this mean for RCR? Because they're going to have a really weird scenario hanging over them for not just a few months, for a year and a half. Maybe something crazy happens and they let Reddick out of his contract a year early and he leaves before the 2024 season, but I doubt it. I imagine they'll hold on to him as long as they have him under contract. But boy, this is an awkward situation. And it's not just me saying that. I'm not just trying to infer that. Look at this statement Richard Childress Racing put out today. This is an official statement. We're proud of the success Tyler Reddick has found at Richard Childress Racing. We're focused on winning a championship in 2022 and 2023, although timing of this announcement could not be any worse. That sounds like something Richard Childress himself banged out real quick and told the intern to post. I'm shocked that that's an official statement coming from the team. Obviously, Richard Childress Racing, very frustrated. They're losing, the best driver they've had since Newman, probably since Kevin Harvick. A guy who's made this team relevant the last two seasons. He was in the playoffs last year. He's in the playoffs again this year. It's like in baseball when a small market team drafts and develops the next great superstar, and then the first chance they hit the free agent market, the Yankees just buy them. I completely understand RCR's frustration, but it's a business. And now they've been put into a very uncomfortable situation for the next year and a half. Let's talk now about Tyler Reddick. Is this the right career move for him? Look, I don't know what 23XI and Toyota is paying him, but I'm sure it's a pretty penny. I'm sure he got a nice looking little contract. That obviously matters. And you heard Tyler Reddick's statement. He looks at 23XI Racing as a young team that's growing and improving steadily. And, maybe he's got a point. Last year was kind of a struggle for Bubba Wallace. They won a race towards the end of the season, but up until that point, it was kind of slow going. This year, the team's also been very inconsistent, especially that 23, but Kurt has a win, likely going to make the playoffs. So I think they have taken a small step forward from year one to year two. But right now, in July of 2022, I don't think 23XI is a better team than RCR. Reddick is betting on Toyota. 23XI has great resources. They have an alliance with Joe Gibbs Racing, who's been one of the true A+ powerhouse teams for years. He's betting on that relationship primarily to help strengthen 23XI Racing and improve their on-track performance. I don't think it's a bad gamble. I too think 23XI Racing is going to improve before they suddenly get worse. Whereas RCR, they have been getting a little better, I think largely thanks to Tyler Reddick. I don't see them having the same high ceiling 23XI Racing has. 23XI Racing is probably lagging behind RCR a little bit right now, but their ceiling is higher, and that's what Reddick is betting on, and I can't really blame him for it, especially considering the contract probably looked nice. But we can't look past the fact that right here, right now, Tyler Reddick in an RCR car has outrun both Kurt Busch and Bubba Wallace this season. The bigger thing I'd be worried about if I'm Tyler Reddick is you're going from being the big fish in a small pond over at RCR to now being a littler fish in a bigger pond that is the Toyota JGR 23XI ecosystem. We've seen that not all Toyota drivers always get the same resources. Maybe that was just a Joe Gibbs Racing thing, but I have to imagine it trickles throughout the entire TRD program. So that concerns me a little bit. You know, maybe he was already kind of second fiddle to Austin Dillon over at RCR because Dillon is Richard Childress's grandson, but performance-wise that didn't seem to be the case. Over at JGR Toyota 2311, I just worry he'll be much less of a priority and that might stunt his growth and hurt his performance. It's 2 years away. We're talking about a year and a half from now. A lot can change, trends will change, but right now, I don't know, I'm a little worried about this move from a career standpoint, from a performance standpoint. We'll see. I think 2311 for sure is a flashier team. They represent the new NASCAR as opposed to RCR, who obviously has had tremendous success in the sport, but most of that success came decades ago. We'll see. Share your thoughts down in the comment section below. First impressions, is this the right career move for Tyler Reddick? How do you feel about RCR losing their guy a year and a half before his contract is up? How awkward will things get? Do you think 2311 picked the right driver? Share your thoughts down in the comment section below. Boy, this was a huge news story that broke out of nowhere. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future massive bombshells like this one. A subscription really helps out the channel. And also all of you on Patreon, all you very generous supporters help the channel out a ton as well. It wouldn't be where it is today without your support. Again, be sure to check out Zoom Lens, my all new podcast. Link is down in the description below. And watch Monday Night Racing live on my channel Monday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I can't wait. Gonna be a great time. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.